Hi everyone, and welcome to QBranch's video on making a gearbox. This is Burdett, and in this video I will be walking you through how to assemble specifically a VersaPlanetary gearbox. So, let's suppose you have a motor all wired up and ready to go. But in 99% of cases, you will need to increase the amount of torque and reduce the overall speed of the motor to be useful. Enter the gearbox. There are lots of different gearboxes, and you can even make the gear reduction part of your robot design instead of a single gearbox, but for this video I will walk through assembling a very common and useful product, the VersaPlanetary Gearbox. To start, we will connect our motor to the driving gear. We will use an RS775 Pro in this video. If you wish to use a mini sim or sim, then you will need a special adapter and cut the shaft with key to a specific length to make them work. You can look up that info on VEX's website. First, find the faceplate that fits your motor and use the appropriate screws to hold in place. Get the faceplate as flush as you can with the face of the motor to prevent issues later. Next, find the correct press fit C-shaped piece to go onto the output shaft of the motor. Then locate the driving gear with a very tiny set screw. Line up the notch in the driving gear with the slit in the press fit piece. Put the driving gear onto the press fit and secure using a set screw and T-handle or Allen key. Be sure the bottom of the gear is a little above the faceplate we secured. This helps the gears mesh in the next step. Now we need to add the ring gears and their planetary counterparts. You can buy ratios from 3:1 all the way to 10:1 for these gearboxes. What's great about this gearbox design is that we can add more than one stage to increase the reduction. So a 3:1 stage combined with a 5:1 will make a 15:1 reduction overall. Using more than 3 stages is not recommended as the gears will shear under max load, especially the 10:1 gear ratio. If you want to use the 10:1 reduction, do so as the stage closest to the motor to reduce direct strain. These shear under stress. To add a stage, we will place the ratio inside the ring gear and then lay that on top of the driving gear we previously secured. Now use screws to secure the faceplate to that ring gear. If you would like to add a second stage, repeat this process and finally complete the gearbox with the output shaft. As a tip, as you add each stage, add a liberal amount of white lithium grease to reduce the amount of wear and tear on those gears. Add a few dabs and give them a spin. For QBranch, we usually build the stages first with the output shaft and then add the motor last, given the new V2 style of VersaPlanetary gearboxes. Then secure the stages to each other using an appropriately long screw to insert from the back and threads to the output shaft face on the opposite end. The last thing is to give this gearbox a test first by hand and then by giving power to the motor. If the gear reduction is great, or when you use a sim or mini sim, a test by hand may not be possible as the back drive necessary is greater than your swole forearm strength. If the motor spins and so does the output shaft, then you've got a gearbox ready to go. Please refer to VEX's guide to recommendations on the max stages allowed before shearing, as well as tips about where to place the sprockets or pulleys to minimize stress. Good luck and thanks for watching.